picture or video?
we're gathered here today, we often talk about being in the presence of God when we go to a church inside of a building. But we are certainly as much in God's presence here in the beauty of His creation as we are inside of any building. Marriage is a very serious thing. It is a serious commitment. And as I've visited with Junior and Christina, they've shared with me from their heart how serious they are about this relationship and their desire to be committed to each other in marriage. So who gives this bride in marriage?
Our Father and myself.
It's been a long-standing custom in every society through the ages to recognize marriage in some form or fashion. And in recent years, it's become the duties of the government to regulate marriage. But marriage existed long before there was governments or laws or statutes that governed it. In fact, it was God Himself who, even before He created the church, God created marriage when He put the very first man and the very first woman together there in the Garden of Eden. And He blessed their relationship together, and they became one flesh. In fact, we read in Genesis chapter 2 that as God did this first wedding ceremony, it says that the Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to tend and to watch over it. And the Lord God said, "It's not good for a man to be alone, so I will make him a helper who is just right for him." And so the Lord God formed from the ground all the wild animals and all the birds of the sky, and He brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And the man chose a name for each one. And He gave names to all the livestock, all the birds of the sky, and all the wild animals. But still, there was no helper just right for him. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while the man slept, the Lord God took out one of the man's ribs, and He closed up the opening. And the Lord God made a woman from the rib, and He brought her to the man. At last, the man exclaimed, "This one is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. And she will be called woman because she was taken from man." And this explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. In addition to this passage in Genesis, we see that Jesus Himself in the New Testament also blessed marriage, where at the wedding in Cana, in a very small town, He turned the water into wine. And John tells us in his gospel that this miraculous sign in Cana in Galilee was the first time that Jesus revealed His glory, and then His disciples believed in Him. Even today, God turns the wine of singleness, the water of singleness, into the wine of marriage. And when Adam saw Eve, he didn't say, "Okay." He said, "This is it. This is the one that I've been waiting for." In fact, in the Old Living Bible, it translated, he says, "Man, this is it." He was excited. And I see, as I was talking to Junior while we were waiting, this is the bride's privilege. But he was excited. And I can see in your eyes as you stand here, Christina, that you're excited about this time as well. And that's what marriage should be about. It should be about the excitement that the future holds of the life that you share together and the time that you have together. So that's the beauty of the relationship. Adam not only thought these things, that Eve was a gift from God, Junior, but he spoke it. As men, we often think things, but we don't say them out loud. It's important to speak the good thoughts that you think about your wife so that she can hear them, because the spoken word is a blessing. It will bless her heart if you will say to her and talk to her and say, "I love you," and just tell her, let her hear those words coming from you. And Christina, he needs to hear you speak blessing into his life as well. He needs to hear you say that you believe in him and that you think that he is a man who's going to do everything that the family needs to be done. He needs to hear you say that. because it will bless his heart as well. In Proverbs, it says that the power of the word brings both life and death. And you guys can determine to a large degree the health of your marriage by the way you speak to each other, and whether you speak warm and encouraging things, or whether you speak critical things or negative things to each other. So be careful about what you say, about what you speak. Be very conscientious about it, and always look to encourage each other as you go along the way. Some statements that will enrich and preserve your marriage are, I love you. I'm so grateful that God gave you to me. And of course, the ever popular, I was wrong. Forgive me. You know, this passage in Genesis also gives us some principles to understand and follow. And I want to say a few things about marriage itself. The first is that we leave our parents. That last part of the verse, it says that a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. And as you guys enter into this relationship together, you cut those apron strings from your parents without cutting that relationship with your parents. Your parents is a relationship you should always cherish. You should hold on to that and nurture that relationship. But your primary relationship now becomes the relationship that you have with each other. The center of your world moves from one household to another. The second principle is that we cleave to each other, and marriage is for life. And you guys need to enter into this relationship without any thought of a back door, without any thought that, you know, I'll do this for a while, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll go and I'll try something else. This is a lifelong commitment. It takes a lot of work and a lot of energy to stay happily married together. Not just to stay married together, but to stay happily married together. And as we've talked and shared together, we've talked about ways that you guys can not only just be married, but be happily married together and enjoy this relationship in a deep way. Till death do us part is not just a verbal formality, it's a spiritual reality. You know, for some, it means until death do us part, or until disagreement do us part. But that's not what God set up. That's not what God created in the garden today. The third principle that we see in this passage in the book of Genesis is that we become one flesh. You guys are becoming one together in union. And it's unity, but it's not uniformity. And so, Junior, Christina is not going to become just like you. And Christina, Junior is not going to become just like you. It's not uniformity, but it is unity together. That means that your goals and your visions and your dreams are going in the same direction, and you encourage each other to grow into the person that God has created you to be, and blessed you to be. You know, St. Augustine was right when he said that if God had meant a woman to rule over man, he would have taken her from his head. And if he had wanted her to be Adam's slave, he would have taken her from Adam's feet. But he took her from Adam's side because he wanted them to be partners and to work side by side together. And this is the journey that you two are starting on today. You know, when Adam and Eve were in the garden together, there were no hidden fears, no agendas. They had a very pure and transparent relationship until sin entered into the picture. And you two must strive as much as possible to have a very transparent relationship with each other. Junior, she needs to know the very depths of your heart, what you're thinking. And she's going to ask you from time to time. She's going to look at you and she's going to say, what are you thinking? And your tendency to say is going to be, oh, nothing. And Christina, there's going to be some times she's going to want to know what's really going on in your heart and your mind. But Junior's not a mind reader. He's not going to be able to just know magically what it is that you're thinking or what you're hoping or what you need from him. And so you're going to have to tell him. And we've talked about communication. And so as part of this transparent relationship that you guys have with each other, you need to communicate. You need to tell each other what it is that's in the deepest parts of your life. So in doing these things, Junior, in taking Christina to be your wife legally before all these witnesses and before the Lord, you must promise to love her and to honor her and to cherish her in that relationship, and leaving everyone else to be united only to her, to be to her in all things a true and faithful husband as long as you both shall live. Do you so promise? And Christina, in taking Junior to be your lawful husband, before all these witnesses and before the Lord, you must promise to love him and to honor and to cherish him in that relationship, and leaving everyone else to be united only with him, and to be to him in all things a true and faithful wife as long as you both are alive. Do you so promise?
I promise.
Then you are given to each other. It's through good times and poor financial times, through good and poor health, for better and for worse, until death shall cause you to part ways. Now, Paul writes about this kind of love, the love that you two share now and hope to nourish and grow strong. In 1 Corinthians 13, he says, love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It's not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wrong. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. It never loses faith. It's always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. May I have the rings? Junior, I would like you to take this ring. Put it on her ring finger on her hand and hold it there while you repeat these vows. So I give you this ring to wear before God and the entire world as a symbol of my love for you and of your faithfulness to me. Christy, I want you to take this ring and put it on his ring finger on his hand and hold it there. And I give you this ring to wear before God and the entire world as a symbol of my love for you and of your faithfulness to me.
Junior, when I first met you, I didn't know what to expect. When you told me you had a son, I didn't know what to expect. But ever since you two have came into my life, my whole world has changed, but only for the better. Being with you makes me want to be a better person and do more in life. I have never met anyone that's more hardworking, brave, caring, loving, and handsome as you. I love waking up every morning to your hugs and kisses, and knowing I can do this every day for the rest of my life. Every girl dreams of finding someone like you, but I don't know how I got so lucky. But I thank God every day for blessing me with you and Jacob. So Junior, in front of all our family and friends and God, I promise you my whole heart for my whole life. I promise to give you all of me, my happiness, my sadness, my failures, and my success. Even my little mood swings that you love so much. You're my present and most importantly my future. I cannot wait to see what our future holds for us. Because I know no matter bad or good, as long as I have you, I know it will be beautiful. I love you so much, Junior, and I'm so happy and proud to be your
Tina, I've waited all my life for you. I've waited long and hard. Long and hard. Just when I was about to give up, I found you. I promise, whatever life throws at us, I will never ever give up on us. I will love you, cherish you for the rest of my days. Okay? see myself growing old with anybody else. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. How far you have come. You are a strong, caring person. The most greatest thing about you is you are a good mom to Jacob. He loves you so much. You take care of him so much. I can't wait till we start our life together. See Jacob grow and our future kids grow. And also tell them when they ask how we met. Long story, but I'm gonna get there. We met. How we first met, how we fell in love with each other. And I know your dad was very proud of you. That's one thing you have grown up to be. No, he ain't here, but he's here somewhere. I know he is. We were on and on all day about us. But on my face. Oh, well, I love the place. Whenever time, I would just have to do it the rest of my life. I want to love you 3 times a week. Yesterday, today, and forever. Now, let's start. Let's get married. Sorry, but I was trying to. Amen.
Well, by the power invested in me by the state of Texas as a minister of the gospel, I pronounce you husband. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Junior Lopez.
You'll see him in a minute, baby.
I got one picture.
Your video, you can play back the video.
Yes, that's what I was doing. I was recording and taking pictures. I love that.
Oh.